There's a quiet story many of us carry as we move through adulthood. It's the belief that our dreams we once had belong to a younger version of ourselves. The version before injuries, before responsibilities, before motherhood, before life became complicated. And slowly, almost without noticing, those dreams get placed on a shelf. They get put away, thinking that the window of opportunity has closed. But sometimes life interrupts that story. Sometimes losses wake us up. Sometimes pain shakes the ground beneath us, just enough to force a deeper question to the surface. If time isn't guaranteed, what would I do with the life I still have? My guest today, Angela Fuller, found herself asking that exact question. After a devastating back injury, years away from athletics, and being told she would never compete again, Angela believed that the chapter of her life was finished. The identity she once loved, the athlete, the competitor, felt like something that belonged only to her past. Then her best friend was diagnosed with terminal breast cancer, and in that moment, something shifted. The experience became a powerful turning point, one that reminded her how fragile and precious life really is, and how important it is not to wait for someday to start living. Since then, Angela has returned to competitive gymnastics in her 40s, completing one of the most demanding challenges in her sport. And she has competed on American Ninja Warrior. But what moves me the most about Angela's story is the message beneath them. That motherhood doesn't erase your dreams. That grief can become a catalyst for purpose. And that when we decide to live fully, to move toward the things that call us, life has a way of expanding in directions we never imagined possible. This episode is absolutely transformational and will help you see your life differently and realize the possibility that lies within you. Have you ever noticed your skin reflects your stress? I used to struggle with mine, dry, dull, reactive, until I started pairing nervous system regulation with products that actually honor your body. That's why I love Milk and Butterflies. They handcraft every formula with 100% organic ingredients and powerful aromatherapy oils. They aren't just products for your skin, they're rituals that restore hydration, resilience, and calm even in the busiest seasons of our life. You can try them for yourself and feel the difference. Head to Milk and Butterflies and use my promo code Dr. Kelly for free shipping. That's DRKELLY for free shipping. Also, check out the link in the description for the podcast. Welcome back to Rewiring Health. I am so honored to have Angela Fuller back on the podcast. She was on the podcast we're just talking about 2 years ago, right after she competed on American Ninja Warrior, and just chatting right now. She has accomplished so much in that time period, and I cannot wait to dive into it. So thank you so much for being here.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to be back. A lot has happened in the last 2 years. So if you didn't listen to it 2 years ago, I'll give you a short little story of why I'm so excited to be doing everything that I've accomplished. So going back, I was a gymnast cheerleader growing up. Right out of college, I was in a car accident. I broke my back. And then I had babies. And during my second pregnancy, I herniated more discs, nerve impingement, went on disability. So I was no longer an athlete. MRI said I was done. They wanted to fuse my spine. And so, I thought I was done with my athletics. So for 14 years, I did nothing. And I was a mom and I loved it. But my athletic days were over. I gained a bunch of weight and was really unhealthy. And then my best friend was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And it completely devastated me. But it was the wake-up call I needed to chase all my dreams. So I hired a nutritionist and I got in the best shape of my life. I lost all the weight, and then I decided to apply for American Ninja Warrior, and I decided to go back to gymnastics. American Ninja Warrior took longer than I anticipated. It took 4 applications, 4 years, to finally get the call. So I competed on season 15 of American Ninja Warrior. And then in the meantime, I returned to gymnastics, competitive gymnastics at 41. I was out of gymnastics 27 years when I returned. And so I've been competing the last 4 years through the NAIGC. And so it's been incredible. I do nationals. I did Masters World Cup. And the big accomplishment I did this last year was I made gymnastics history. I'm the oldest gymnast to ever complete a gymnastics omnathon. So I do all around men's, all around women's, trampoline, tumbling in one event or one meet. And so, yeah, I was the oldest to ever do that in the world. And I even placed second in the men's events all around and on parallel bars and on vault. And so it was this huge moment. It was really cool to be a mom, in her 40s. I was 44 at the time to accomplish this huge thing. So, yeah, American Ninja Warrior was so much fun. But the gymnastics dreams I've done the last few years have been even bigger for me, I would say, especially being a gymnast when I was little and coming back and accomplishing all of that. And so then also I was just featured in Inside Gymnastics magazine, which was a huge highlight because growing up, I read magazines because I'm a 90s girl growing up in the 90s. And I always dreamt of being in a gymnastics magazine. And then they just featured me, which was huge because I get to inspire even more people. And I'm the oldest gymnast to have a full feature like that in their magazine. So a lot has happened. But in the midst of all of this, the most difficult thing was right after actually we spoke, my best friend did sadly pass away. And so that was kind of the launch pad to all of this because I just, we can't, tomorrow's not promised. And I decided to do all my dreams. So I've channeled my grief and sadness and into chasing even more dreams. So yeah, it's been a lot.
Oh my gosh. So, I mean, it's so much because you accomplished so much when we talked 2 years ago, but I mean, it's tremendous just how much growth and really like expansion that you've had in this time. It's profound. And excuse me. I want to go back to, I know that your friend was a huge inspiration in all this and that really shifted your perspective on things. Can you talk about how that really transformed your mindset from where you were to you now pursuing your dreams, going after it?
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing, like you will even see, this is my logo, Faith Over Fear. This was actually on American Ninja Warrior. All my sideline wore it, and she wore this. And I would explain the last 2 years have truly been me, faith over fear. Obviously, when you lose somebody to cancer, it's extremely scary. She had no family history. She fought for 7 years. She was my hero. She was that friend that when I could have called and said, I'm joining the circus, and she would have said, awesome, when's your first performance? Like, she was just so supportive and incredible, and she taught special needs children, and she was just amazing. So I channel her every day. So how I've used it is, when I'm tired at night and I don't want to go to the gym, or I feel like I can't do something, or I'm scared, I think of her, and I get so much power from that. She definitely fuels me. Interesting enough, also 11/11, when her last full day on this planet was 11/11, and I see it everywhere, and at my gymnastics meets and everything. And so we have that little special connection for sure. I talk to her all the time. So I know she's with me. It's totally changed me, but nothing that I've accomplished would have happened. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Without her. So
Yeah.
it's been 2 years, but yeah. So everything I do is in her honor, and I just want to make her proud. But I also want to show women like tomorrow's not promised, and we have to chase our dreams. We matter.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And it hits home for me. We were just talking about my brother passed 2 years ago as well, and it rocks your world. And he was only 41 when he passed, and it really does change your whole perspective on life when you have someone who's so meaningful to you not be able to live out their dreams. It like really gives out that perspective of like how short life can be and how
Yeah.
unpredictable it can be, and that we don't know how long we're going to be here, and that we do have to go after it now. There might not be a someday or tomorrow. And so thank you for sharing your story and
Yeah.
being able to transmute that pain into your purpose here and really create so much for yourself and have these experiences and knowing that you're being guided by her and she's with you.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And one thing that we can sometimes hinder us, so some of those like beliefs are, maybe that we have to take care of everybody else in those moments, or that we're not maybe allowed, we shouldn't be experiencing joy, or, some of these things can like really come into our life of like, that can keep us trapped, and maybe some of these
Yeah.
cycles of not living out our dreams or waiting for the perfect moment. How can you move past some of that? How did you say, no, I'm making this mean something, and I'm going after my dream now. I'm not going to wait 10 years or for the perfect
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest thing when chasing your dreams is you have, like, I visualize it. I'm like, I'm doing this. Discipline is huge. But yeah, when obviously chasing a dream in someone's honor helps because I truly do it for her. And the little girl that, dreamt of all this when when I left gymnastics at 14 years old due to a beam injury. And so I didn't leave the sport wanting to leave the sport. I unfortunately had an injury and there was some abusive coaching. So that's why I left gymnastics. So to come back and do this has been extra special because it's like I'm rewriting my gymnastics story as an adult. So that's been amazing. But yeah, it is. I've just channeled it. I tell people like, you have to put the excuses aside. It has to mean more to you than the excuses. I also like my biggest thing is there is a lot of fear, right? Especially with cancer, with doing gymnastics, with chasing dreams. It really cripples a lot of people, and it crippled me as a child. So I always say like fear, forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And so I choose that all the time at practice. Even driving to the gym, there's definitely times like I know I'm doing an extreme sport, and it's scary, but I like that feeling of sticking that landing and proving to myself that I can do these incredible things is all worth it. So that's kind of what I do. But yeah, it is hard, but I feel like if it means a lot to you, you're going to find a way. And if it doesn't, you're going to find an excuse.
So true. Yeah. I mean, it sounds so simplistic, but like it is,
Yeah.
you either go after or you don't. And so it's really powerful to really acknowledge that and get really truthful with yourself of like what you're choosing every day. And I know you're a mom of two, and
Yeah.
that can really throw a monkey wrench in going after your dreams. Like I'm a mom, I know it can really feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do for your kids. And then you're trying to like find the time for yourself. And especially gymnastics, I imagine there's probably a lot of training time in that.
Yeah.
Can you talk about how do you navigate that, like showing up as a mom and then also showing up for yourself and doing all the roles that you're in, and doing that in the way that feels aligned with you?
Yeah. So I have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old boys, and they're competitive athletes as well. So that makes it, I'm busy a lot. I also teach group fitness. I don't know if I mentioned that. And so I love that. I teach mostly moms and women, and I absolutely love it, just helping them get their sparkle back. So I do that. So I'm very busy between their sports and that. And then gymnastics and ninja. I still train ninja because I love it. But also it's cross with ninja and gymnastics. They're similar training. It's all upper body. So I teach 3 days a week. I train alone weight training 3 days a week. And then I do ninja training 1 day a week, gymnastics 2 days a week. And then I'm skiing and playing in the mountains with my boys usually on the weekend. So it's a lot. My son, I have a really fun story though. My son was a competitive skier. Last year, he was competing every weekend. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do my gymnastics meets because they're on the weekends too. And, it meant a lot to me. So he had this one day where he had a meet in the morning. So I was on the hill with him all day long. And then I drove down from the mountains to town. I did my gymnastics meet, and then I drove all the way back to the mountains that night. And people thought I was crazy. And I was like, no, we both have dreams. I'm going to see him, support him, and then I'm going to go chase my dream. And we both made the podium, which is never actually, honestly, I always say purpose over podium. So it's not the ultimate goal to be on the podium, but it was a magical image of like, he was on the podium the same day I was on the podium for two different sports.
Cool.
And it was just really cool. Not a lot of women or moms, can say that. And I just want more moms to feel that. Because it's really cool. It's one thing to cheer your kids on, but then to have them cheer you on and you have your own hobby or sport is really cool too. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, my boys are very busy, but I just make the time, and my training is late night. So I train like 8 or 7:30 to like 10 p.m. at night.
Oh
So
my gosh. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing and so inspiring because I think sometimes there's like that unconscious, subconscious belief that like we almost have to give up our dreams once we become a parent because, oh no, it's all about the kids. I think there's a lot of pressure to almost do that and make it all about the kids, but it's like you can feel that you lose yourself in the mix of it. And I don't think that
yeah,
serves anybody. So I think it's so inspiring that you're going after your dream, you're still supporting your
yeah,
kids, you're able to do it. And I think it's like a message that needs to be heard by so many of us that like you can still go after your dreams and be an amazing mom. And those two things can
yep,
exist. And
yep,
I know something that can get like sticking in that is like, and I know I felt that. I think every mom has that is like that guilt. Like, how do you navigate
yes,
like guilt that inevitably is going to come up? Like, I know I've felt it in things. And when you're like, I think a lot of it is like stemming from like, I'm not doing enough or I'm not enough or I'm not there enough for your kids. Like, how do you navigate that when guilt does come up in those moments? I want to take a brief moment to pause from the episode to share something that I've noticed so many women struggle with, and maybe this resonates with you, that you do not feel safe to honor your own needs. You might be the one who learned how to be easy, capable, and reliable, and yet you're tired of overriding yourself. You're tired of explaining your no, you're tired of feeling guilty for wanting space, and tired of shrinking your truth to keep the peace. The thing that most people don't realize is that you can't actually protect your peace without a sense of inner safety. And without that safety, boundaries feel harsh, guilt feels unavoidable, and self respect feels like something you're constantly working at instead of resting into. If you have that quiet, steady craving for self respect, the kind that lives in your body, Self Respect Reset was created for you. It's a guided, body based experience designed to help you rebuild inner safety, trust yourself again, and honor your needs without guilt, explanation, or self abandonment. If this speaks to you, you can find the link to join in the show notes. Now back to the episode.
yeah. The guilt is huge. I think we can all attest to that as moms. Like we want to be there for everything, and we feel like they should be number one. But I've noticed like my kids, like they do more based by seeing what you do, not by what you tell them. So I always tell like if you want your kids to have a healthy lifestyle, work out and chase their dreams and all that, you have to show them this is how you do it, right? So they're more apt to, choose the healthy meal and go to the gym if they see their mom doing it and their dad doing it. So I always say that like I'm showing them like this is what we do, versus telling them. And then it's really fun to train with them, and it's really fun to chase these dreams together. And I would say, my boys just know like they love cheering me on. But I have conversations with them like, hey, I might have to leave this competition early to make it to my meet. Are you okay with that? And they always say yes. They're like, of course, mom, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's okay if you miss a few minutes of your kid's band concert or, you matter. And
Mhm.
so I always say, like, we're made for more. Like, being a mom is so amazing. But we are made for more. And we only have the boys or our kids like 18 years. And so in those 18 years, we're still young and, we don't know what we'll be like when they go off to college. Will we be able to physically chase these dreams? Um, and like I was telling you earlier, like I've had my own scares with health too. This last year, I had a precancerous growth during a mammogram and during a colonoscopy. And so, like, those were huge eye openers. Obviously losing a friend to cancer, then I have precancer, which luckily they removed it all. I don't have anything right now, but I have to monitor it very closely. But I think that makes you really focus on yourself. Of I love my boys and I want to be around for my boys, so I need to focus on my health and this time matters. If I wait to chase my dreams, I don't know what could happen in the future.
Mhm. Right. And so cliche, but so true is like all we have is now. And,
Yeah.
tomorrow isn't promised, 10 years isn't promised. And to really pursue that, because I think sometimes we get in this, I think especially women get into that like self-sacrificial mindset of like, I come last or I come at least second to things. And it's like always prioritizing everybody. But it really is recognizing that you have to be your own advocate and you have to really be proactive about your own health and your own longevity and your own joy in this life because no one's going to do it for you. So
Yeah.
is recognizing that, like you said, you do matter. And with that, like as far as like the age and how that like plays a role, can you talk about that?
Yeah.
'Cause I think sometimes
Yeah.
too, we're like, oh, our glory years are over, 20s are over, like, and sometimes it can be a limiting belief that we have that like as we age, like inevitably things are gonna fall apart. We can't do the things we want to,
Yeah.
but you're a testament that it doesn't matter. Like you can still compete at high levels, even though you're not in your 20s anymore. Can you talk
Yeah.
about how that has played a role, like from your 20s to 30s to 40s, like how your mindset has shifted and how your body has shifted in that?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Everyone's like, I can't believe you're a gymnast in your 40s. Like, how does that work? um, but yeah, so it has been awesome. So when I was little, everything I did was not for the love of the sport. I wanted validation. I wanted to be on the podium. I wanted to, I needed all of that. And then as an adult athlete, I do everything for the love of the sport. NAIGC, actually, the slogan is for the love of the sport.
I love
So
that.
it's really cool to go back to your childhood sport, but do it differently, right? And going to practices, nobody's telling me to go. I'm choosing to go. Obviously, doing gymnastics little, I was way smaller, like much easier. Now I'm like a full blown adult in her 40s. So I definitely, I'm a bigger body doing this gymnastics. I've also had two babies. So I know everyone asks me, and like, do you pee your pants? And I'm like, sometimes, like, it's part of it. Like, I'm tumbling and doing
Mhm.
vaulting. I'm a woman in her 40s. So that's kind of funny. That's what
Yeah.
all the women always ask me. I'm also like perimenopause, which is a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
So my hormones are different, which I also have like autoimmune. And I have all the excuses of like, you can't do this. And I do it. So
Yeah.
I would say the biggest thing in my adult is my mindset.
Mhm.
I'm so mentally strong, and I wasn't mentally strong as a child. Because I go out there knowing I'm doing it just to do it because I love it. I don't care about the outcome, purpose over podium. It's totally different. And so, yeah, it's a totally different sport going out there and doing it. But I do not want to sugarcoat. I face a lot in my 40s. I take a ton of supplements. I work with a nutritionist. I recently, like 6 months ago, decided I no longer drink alcohol because I was so inflamed from it. I eat extremely healthy. I do tons of weight training. So I I do want to be very honest about there's a ton behind the scenes for me to be able to do the backflip. But it's totally worth it. And
Yeah.
people ask like, wait, I don't get it. Like your back was broken and you never had surgery. Like, how are you doing gymnastics? And so I say I serve a bigger doctor, first of all. My faith is everything. I built my core and my back muscles so strong that they support my back. So my back, most of the injury is actually still there. I just don't have herniations. I don't have nerve impingement, but the damage is there. And I'm tumbling and I'm doing vaulting and I'm doing men's events. And so it's pretty incredible. We're capable of doing anything we set our mind to. And so I just hope when you hear my story, that's what you get from it is I'm not like some special person doing this. I'm like everybody else. Like if I can do it, you can do it. Like truly. But yes, there's a lot of behind the scenes because in your 40s, I remember when I was a kid, I would fuel for a meat on like fruit roll-ups and Kool-Aid, maybe some
Mhm.
macaroni and cheese.
Oh my gosh.
And
Wow.
now as an adult, it's like eggs and chicken and spinach and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's different.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you sharing the behind the scenes because sometimes, like from the outside perspective, it can seem like, oh, that comes so easy, or you're a natural,
Yeah.
or like, but I think it's really important to say, like, every day you're making a commitment to that, and every day you're choosing to move towards your dreams, and it's action. I know you talk about vision, but there's also a lot of action taking in that, and making those choices that are aligned with it. So I think it's so
Yeah.
powerful to see that it's both mindset, but also the action that you're taking to move you towards that. And with the mindset, I'm curious, was that what do you think contributes to you having such a strong mindset? Because we move in
Yeah.
the direction of where we direct our energy and attention, and I think that's something that sometimes gets almost stolen with so many distractions that we have going on now. How do you stay focused and how do you keep your attention and your mindset in the place that serves you?
Yeah. So the biggest thing as an adult, as I mentioned, my faith is everything. I just trust that like everything I do, it's all part of his plan. And so like that takes a lot of pressure off myself because I'm like, okay, whatever happens, happens. And I'm just going to do the best I can. Because I think the thing with mindset is we have very little control, right? Like we can try to do whatever, everything in our control, but like we can't always control the outcome. And I think that's where people kind of lose it and struggle with that. And so I kind of have released that pressure, I would say. I do a lot of visualization. So, like, before I do a bar routine, I visualize it really quickly. That helps me a lot. Meditation helps me a lot. So, there is a lot of that. I pray a lot, meditation, visualize. Like, those are kind of the three things. And then just accepting whatever the outcome is has helped. I also, people always laugh because at my meets, I don't even look at the scores because it ruins it for me. I feel like I did a great job, and then you'll see the
Yeah.
score, and you're like, oh. So I truly go in there for the love of the sport. And at nationals, this is pretty funny. I had no idea any of my scores. So we're at the award ceremony, and I had no idea I was getting any awards because they only do the top three. There's no age divisions. I'm like, there's no way I'm placing at nationals. Like, I was crying, and the girl was like, are those happy tears? I'm like, I truly did this for the love of the sport, and I got second in the nation.
Wow, that's amazing.
So that's so cool when like your focus is on making yourself proud versus standing on that podium and getting validation from others.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
So profound because I mean, I think that's a sticking point for so many of us is like you get caught in the external world and you outsource your joy and everything looking for those things to give it to you. And it's like, that's such a great example of like, it didn't matter. You were joyful about how you
yeah,
performed and that was it. And it just happened that you got an award to match
yeah.
that. But like the fact that that wasn't your primary goal is like so beautiful that you could be content and happy with the way you performed and how you showed up, regardless of the outcome of it. I think that's so profound and what a huge
Yeah.
lesson to anyone.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't understand why I do the NAIGC. So there's like 1,800 athletes at nationals,
Wow.
and they're all younger. It's college. It's the National Association of Intercollegiate College Club Teams. So most of the people I compete against are in their 18s to like mid 20s. So there's club teams, college teams. And so there's others where you can compete and they put you in age divisions.
Mhm.
It's called the AAU, but I'm like, I don't want to be in the age
That's
division.
great.
So there are not many of us in our 40s, but I love that because I want to show these athletes like, you know, you can do this sport forever. And I just think it's so silly. Why are we focused on a medal that you put in a box and it collects dust? You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Because I think in my 40s, right, I can look back and I realize what really matters. And the awards don't matter. It's literally that self pride when you land a trick and you do something you didn't think you could do. There's no better feeling than that. That medal, it's a bonus, but it does not make it, you know, I don't strive for that. And I can tell you as a child, like if I wasn't on that podium, I was devastated. So yeah, it's a really cool place. I want everybody that did childhood athletics to do it as an adult.
Yeah.
Because I want you to feel that shift
Mhm.
where you look at the sportsmanship and you just look at all of the bigger picture of what you're doing, and it's so beautiful. And it also makes me look at my boys and how I approach watching them in their athletics and cheering for them and what I post about them online and make sure it's always focused on sportsmanship and having fun. I don't post like, he got third in the state out of 26 kids or whatever it is. I don't think that that's appropriate. And I think we should kind of think about that. You know, what are we showing our kids that we care about, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's a huge message right there. Just recognizing what you're putting the emphasis on. I think that's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah, I think that's something that you can easily get stuck on like the numbers and the awards and the external things. But I love that. I love that awareness that you have, especially because you're living it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the coolest
Yeah.
thing. Like you're living it right now. Like you may not, if you'd ever return to gymnastics and it was just something of your past, you may not have that gift of awareness to now imbue on your children. And that's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love
Because most parents are living through their children. Like, I
that.
don't, and I know a lot of people are going to hear this being like, oh, shoot, that's me. because what happens is a lot of moms in particular have kids and then they decide, okay, my dreams are over. They think that midlife is the finish line, but it's the launching pad. Like, I don't know, like, it is not the finish line. Like, I'm here to show you I've accomplished more in my 40s than I ever did as a child.
Yeah.
So that's like incredible. And so, yeah, you have to, don't live through the kids, think of the pressure you're putting on them. And yes, my boys are so cute because they are doing sports with me. So our conversations are current. They don't say, Mom, when you were an athlete back in the day, the 1900s. No, I'm kidding. I'm like, no, like what now? Like my son's always like, what do you do when you get really nervous? And so like we get to have these current conversations. They got to see how I handled what happened on American Ninja Warrior. I handled that with so much grace. So yeah, it's been, and yeah, if you're like what she talked about. So I was on American Ninja Warrior. I had so much fun, but I faced that night of the competition and, I don't think I could talk about this before. I can now because you sign a contract.
Yeah, you were in the middle of it when you were on the first time, so you couldn't share the details.
Okay. So anyways, the big thing is it did not go the way I pictured at all. I was so excited. My best friend was on my sideline. The one was stage 4 cancer. And it was so magical, you guys, because it was filmed in LA. She happened to live in LA. It was literally so meant to be. I was the last phone call, all the things. So I found out from God that the journey was getting there. I got on the stage. I got to be there. And then when, unfortunately, the night didn't go great and the obstacles were malfunctioning and everything was wet. And so when I went up, I knew going on that course, I was not going to be hitting a buzzer. I was not going to be playing on the course. And so I did the best I could, but yeah, it was kind of a mess. And I got out of the water so happy still. And so the producers, they still aired me and it looked like I couldn't do it. But really, it was broken. Like the whole dropped too fast. It was sopping wet, but I played it off. Anyways. But it was a hard one, right? So that was really hard. My kids were embarrassed for me. They're like, Mom, what are people going to think? You didn't even get to do the course. They're just going to think you aren't good at this. And I was like, I'm an American Ninja Warrior. I don't care.
100%.
And so and then they saw that they aired me and they saw how I handled it. And everyone celebrated me because I was celebrating myself because I was so excited to get there. And they're like, Mom, nobody cares. I'm like, I know, because you don't have to hit a buzzer. You don't have to be on the podium to be celebrated. So yeah, that's been really cool to watch them navigate. And they'll always say funny things like, well, at least I didn't fall on national TV, or at least you know what I mean? And I'm like, thanks, guys.
I get the bust on you, right? Oh my gosh. But it is, I love that. I love your attitude because it is a huge accomplishment. How many people are still going to keep trying to get onto that and haven't, or in the gyms trying to work at that and you did it, So it's something huge to be celebrated, and it created a moment for you that's absolutely beautiful and an opportunity to learn and then teach your kids something. There's so much amazing things that came from that. From what you're saying, it's amazing. And
yeah, it was weird to be like, oh, wait, that was the plan. In the moment I was like, God, really? I thought I was I would have liked to at least do a couple obstacles. But then I got to cheer everybody up in the tent. And 70,000 people apply to that show. I had no idea. So I was like, and they only pick a couple hundred. So yeah, being selected, you won. You won being selected.
100%. Wow. That is amazing. 70,000 people.
Yeah. So that's what I just hope people, whenever you follow me or you see what I do, that's what I want people to take from it, is that, it's all about the journey. It's not the destination. It's not hitting the buzzer. Yes. Was it an ego hit? For sure. I was like, I'm actually really good at ninja. This doesn't get to show that. So I will admit that doing gymnastics and what I've accomplished the last 2 years has been great because it's true athletics. And I do get to, show off what I'm capable of in an environment where the bars aren't wet and broken. And if they are, I actually get to go again. Right. So American Ninja Warrior truly is, I know somebody called it a game show the other day. I don't know if I call it a game show, but it's definitely a reality TV show. And it's not, I don't know if it's really a competition because it's not super fair. Some people get obstacles that don't work. So, but it was the experience and it was so much fun. And it's opened all these other doors to talk to you and talk to other people and inspire more people. So it was a huge win.
Yeah.
I felt like I hit the buzzer.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, honestly, like even when you like visualize things, it's more about the feeling of it. So if you get
Yeah.
that feeling, like you won, you know, like
Yeah.
there are people that hit buzzards probably don't have that feeling. So if you have that like inner feeling of like, man, that was amazing. Yeah, and you're just
Yeah.
savoring those moments and like extracting all the joy out of it, that's winning.
Yeah.
That's truly winning.
And you know what was super cool was the girl that actually did hit a buzzer, like the media actually contacted me and I was like very honest and I was like, I didn't hit a buzzer.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, but you're, she was 15 at the time or whatever. They're like, that's not a story. I was 42 at the time. They're like, you're a 42-year-old woman doing this. And so like, that was kind of cool too. I know it sounds silly, but to even like the world recognizes, and I just hope people, you don't need to go out winning things to inspire people. And actually, I inspire more people showing my failures and my falls and my trying stuff than I ever do. Like, look at me do this, look at me do that. You know what I mean? So, in my stories, I share all my falls. So, if you want to see me fall a lot, though, I just feel like that's so important because failure is part of it. And I just think we're so guilty of showing the highlight reel only.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're vulnerable enough to share that, I feel like gives people a permission to give themselves more grace in those moments and allow themselves to be like, failure is part of it. It's necessary for progress. It's
Yeah.
necessary for growth. Like, and if we're only focused on perfection, like first of all, we're disconnecting ourselves from the reality of it. And we're
Yeah.
also not recognizing the beautiful journey of like you learn so much from failing. You far more usually than you learn from
Yeah.
actually doing it. So there's a
I
lot
know,
of
like, I laugh when I fall now.
yep.
And when I was a kid, I would cry. And now I laugh like the worst fall. And I'll just be laughing. And my friends are like, you're crazy. I'm like, that was, and then I'll go, did you catch that on video?
That's awesome.
And they're like, Angela, that was terrifying. I'm like, but I'm fine.
Yeah, that's it. And, it's like the laughing releases the endorphins and you can enjoy the moment. It probably saves you probably from injuries as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
And like laughing at ourselves. And I think that's the other thing as an adult. I had no confidence as a little girl. I was actually really shy. And
Yeah.
I just had no confidence. And as an adult, I just have so much more confidence. And it's just like, yeah, it's so different.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's like you just gain a perspective when you've lived more life. You just see it for more of what it is rather than like being so engrossed in it, you don't realize like the bigger picture of things. And I think that's something that comes as you get older is like you start to
Yeah.
see things more clearly than maybe you could in your 20s or your teenage years. And
Yeah.
yeah. And what's next for you? Like now that you've
I,
accomplished, like, I mean, it's so cool. The Ninja Warrior, the gymnastics, and so many accomplishments.
yeah.
Like, what are you visioning now for that future?
So it's kind of been fun. The whole journey's kind of just snowballed. Nothing was planned. So even
Yeah.
with the gymnastics, it was like I started off just doing women events because I wanted to have fun and could do that. And then somebody's like, "Did you know in the NAIGC you can also do the boys events?" Oh, really? That's fun. I never got to do that as a kid. I'll try them. And then, hey, nobody's ever done the Omnithon your age. You should sign up for that. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So it's kind of been very organic. Like nothing has been obviously Ninja Warrior and going back to gymnastics were like these big dreams I envisioned in my head. But since then, it's all kind of snowballed. So I'm not sure what it's going to go to next. I'll be honest with like all of the health stuff that I've been dealing with and everything. I just get so excited to be able to still do like maintain skills, as silly as that sounds. Like, I just like every week I check off the box. Can I still do a backflip? Can I still, you know what I mean? Because my body's changing, hormones are changing, things are shifting, and I'm just trying to adjust with that. So this year I start the new competition season in February. So I'll do the local meets and I'll go back to nationals this year. Someday I want to do the World Cup out of the country. So I think it's in Japan in a couple years. I did the one where it was World Cup in the US, which was awesome. People from all over the world came here and it was amazing. And I got to wear my USA leotard and it was awesome.
That's awesome. That's
um,
so fun.
so I would like to do that, and I want to do more public speaking. I
Mhm.
still have a Guinness Book World Record thing that I would like to do,
Cool.
but that is its own. If anybody wants to do that, let me just tell you that journey is insane.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not what it looks like. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this is easy. It's not free. First of all, they act like it's free. So anyways, it's a little kind of thing I want to do, but
Yeah.
I really just want to continue on this journey and see where it leads me. But really, I'm addicted to inspiring people. Like, if that's the one thing I've noticed is like, I don't want to stop because I don't want anybody else to stop. And I just, that's the thing is like the letters and the things that people send me. I that's what fuels me is just that. So every time I do a podcast or talk, it's like, I just hope there's one person out there that I can show them that if I can do it, they can do it, and to dream big, and it's never too late, and all those things. And so, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think you're definitely inspiring people with your actions and what you're doing and just your mindset and attitude about it. I think it's just so inspiring to really recognize in yourself how far you've come and all the things you've overcome to get to this point. So I think it's so profound. And for that person listening, so
Yeah.
that woman who maybe is in her mid 40s, she maybe has not challenged herself in a while, has kind of sacrificed herself for things outside herself. What is the one thing that she could do today? That's the smallest step forward that she could do today to start taking action towards her dreams.
So I always say, like, what is there at night when you go to bed? What do you dream about that keeps you up at night? It kind of haunts you in your dreams. It's something you always wanted to do. And I want you to go do it, right? Because when you do accomplish that dream and you make all your dreams come true, I want you to feel the way that I feel. And so taking small baby steps, right? So just go sign up for the gymnastics class or the fitness class or the art class or any of that. And then just show up. Just show up. Get out of your car. I always say that because it was the hardest thing for me at gymnastics was getting out of the car. Like, am I really going to go do an adult gymnastics class in my 40s? So baby steps, give yourself so much grace and love because it is really hard as we get older and we always have those self-limiting beliefs. So just, never give up. It's never too late. Dream big and you can do anything you set your mind to. And if I can do it, you can do it.
I love that. And if, for the person listening right now who just heard that and is going to bed tonight and you're going to start recognizing like what that dream is, leave it in the comments of the podcast or send it to Angela or myself, put it in writing and send it to somebody because that's when you really solidify that. Like when you make that commitment, accountable. So once you get that image, whatever it is, just send that to somebody. It could be your friend, it could be this podcast, comment, whatever it is, because again, that is really going to help you move forward in that, really recognizing like, oh, this really is my dream. It's not just something that came into my imagination. It's there for a reason. So
and video and take pictures of the beginning, even if it's ugly and messy. Okay. Because I took videos and pictures of me starting Ninja and I could do a 2-foot lache and it was ugly. And now I'm doing like 10, 11. So I'm like, because you can make an epic reel someday of you going from 2 feet to 12 feet.
That's awesome. I love that.
So make sure you capture those beginnings and embrace the journey, embrace the beginning, embracing the uncomfortableness. And then just know that like when you do accomplish it, oh my goodness, I want you to feel the way that I feel right now. And think of all the people you're going to inspire by doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I love that recommendation because sometimes you wait till it looks pretty until you start like capturing it. But like capturing the messy beginning is so profound. Like I'll look at old journal article, like journaling I did like back in the day of things, and I'm like, I don't even recognize that girl, but it's a testament to how far you've come. So it's like the pictures or whatever way you capture it, it's amazing to look back on that. And share if you choose to share it to inspire people. But that's so cool. You have all that to show people how far you've come.
Well, and I don't know if you saw this, but I shared everybody on the Ninja journey. So they were with me the whole 4 years. So me getting rejected every single year, I put that on the internet, which people like, you're nuts. And it was hard. I'm not going to lie because I was like, oh my gosh, this is really hard. But then when I got the call, it was like, we all got the call. Everybody that was friends or followers of mine, it was like, we all got it. So I want to encourage you too, that like show the ugliness, show the rejection, the failure, the heartache, because it's going to help someone. Don't try to just always look so pretty wrapped in a bow. And there was a chance I never got that phone call. And I know that deep down, and that would have been hard. But now that I've seen the bigger picture, I see that I would have used that some way to inspire people too. And so you may never get the phone call and the dream might not come true, but still go after it. You know?
And just going after it, you don't know who you're going to become in that process.
Yeah.
And what insight you might have. Like, I loved how you shared how you just flow with it and what comes next and you go with it. It's like, as you go through it, you'll get more insights and more steps to how that progresses for you and that unique journey for yourself. So I
Yeah.
love that.
Well, and the other thing when you do get rejected, it's redirection. So I know when you look back at all the years, like if I gotten on the first year, I would have never signed up for an adult gymnastics class. Then this whole gymnastics journey would have never happened.
Wow.
So you know what I mean? And every year that I got rejected, God opened another door. And it was like, it's the coolest thing to step back. And in that moment, I felt like my life was over. They don't want me. I'm not good enough, all this stuff. And then God's like, oh no, because you're going to go this direction now. That's actually going to lead you back here. And then you're going to go here. And that's what I hope that you can see rejection as redirection too. And just knowing that take all the pressure off and just let it flow.
Yeah, I love that. 'Cause, I mean, it can be so easy to get into that like controlling and this is how it's supposed to look and how it's supposed to go. And inevitably, it's never going to go exactly how you think it's
No.
going to. In most cases, it's not even go close to what you think it's going to. But I love that how you wouldn't have done gymnastics if you hadn't gotten
No.
that rejection. Like that is
Yeah.
amazing because look what you've accomplished since then and how much more inspiring you can become to people. And could just be just the next step to the next mountain that you're climbing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, because I thought the ultimate was getting on American Ninja Warrior. I'm going to be honest with you, being on a TV show, and it wasn't at all. It was the launch pad. Gymnastics is where I've inspired everybody because I think it is more relatable. A lot of people were gymnasts when they were little, but yeah, it is. It is so. Yeah, it's so cool. It's cool to look back where we're at right now and be like, oh my gosh, this is all played out exactly how it was supposed to play out.
amazing. It has
Yeah.
almost like magical sense when you look back in hindsight, you're like, oh my gosh, it makes
Yeah.
sense, why certain things didn't work out when you wanted them to, and how there was a bigger plan for you. It's amazing.
Yeah. But in the moment, oh my goodness.
It's all right. Yeah. I mean, have to, yeah, living that human
I
experience.
cried a lot. People are like, you took it so well. I'm like, you can ask my husband. I did not take it so
Right.
there were definitely tears and it is really hard, but I'm so
Yeah.
glad that so it's been beautiful. But yeah, that's the other thing is social media, people are always like, oh, I just don't like it, stay off of it. And it's been so beautiful for me and for you to help so many people. We get to reach, especially I love podcasts. Because we get to reach so many more people, this way. So I love it.
Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. I wish podcasts existed in my 20s. They would have helped me tremendously.
Yeah.
Conversations like this of just seeing things differently, hearing about people's stories, that's how your whole subconscious can change. If you hear one story and it seeps in of wow, she could do it. I could do something like that. Let me start. And it's there's so much power to hearing this and giving people who are doing tremendous things a voice and a platform so it can be heard to more people.
Yeah.
So
and it makes us more relatable when you get to hear us just talk off the cuff.
Exactly.
But my other advice for over 40 is just move more. If you're scrolling, go walk. We got a walking pad, and I always say scroll on your walking pad. You really need to move more and listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
While you're on your walking pad and go do more inspiring stuff and listening to stuff because that's what helps me because it is what you put in your brain and what you view every day is where you're going to go. So just remember that it's really important what you're consuming. And if you do follow people that don't inspire you or anger you or cause you to feel a certain way, unfollow them. And it's okay to unfollow or mute. Do you know those people you're like, this isn't doing good for me? You don't need to unfriend them. Just mute them.
Exactly. Yes. And having that discernment of knowing what's for you and what's not for you. They could have a great message, but it might not be the one that you need to hear or what resonates with you. So I think that's such a powerful message of knowing that everything you allow to come into your brain, notice how it's sitting in your body. Does it feel more expansive and joyful? Okay, hold on to that. But if you're feeling constricted and feeling scared or fear in that, like you said, it's time to let it go or mute it.
Yeah.
It doesn't filter in.
Because it's our physical health, but our mental health. And that's women in our 40s with, perimenopause and all that. There is the mental health aspect. And so you do really have to sit back and be like, what am I putting in my body? What am I putting in my brain?
Yeah.
And then am I moving my body? So there's a lot more to it. People just think it's more movement, lifting weights, eating clean, but it's so much what's in here,
Absolutely. There was just I didn't watch the podcast yet, but I saw the preview for it and it's like on my queue to watch it. But
Yeah.
it was talking about perimenopause, menopause, how it becomes an initiation for women to step into their power and how the
Yep.
whole energy shifts and that this is your new beginning and this is not the end, this is the beginning and to really recognize
100%.
in yourself. So I think it's so profound to have that shift and the perspective of it and recognize that like you're a testament to it and so you
Yeah.
realize like here it is. This is your opportunity. Life is just beginning for you right now.
Yeah, and it is awesome because it is I love step into your power because that's
Mhm.
exactly how I feel. I've
Yeah.
stepped into my power. I know who I am. I'm confident. I know what I want. I know what I don't want.
Yep.
Friendships, I'm very quick if they're not serving me, we're not serving each other. It's done.
Mhm.
It's really freeing to just
Yeah.
be like, I'm going to do what's healthiest and best for me, family members, everything.
Yeah.
So I love that. I actually love being in my 40s.
Mhm.
It's been, yeah, there's challenges, 100%. But when we take care of ourselves and focus on ourselves, there's so much power, and you are capable of so much. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yes. And it's like really just embracing it and making the most of it and realizing like this is your opportunity right now and make it happen now. You don't know if you
Yeah.
have the next day to do it. So just do everything you can to live your life to the fullest. And
And go get your mammogram and go get your colonoscopy.
yeah, yep.
Seriously though, because at 45 now it's 45 for the colonoscopy, and I never in a million. I'm so healthy, and I was like, when they're like, you have precancerous polyps, I'm like, excuse me. Um, so I just, luck. They're like, if you had come in when you were 50, you'd have cancer. So
Oh my
like, thank God I went in at
God.
45. Felt that urge, and so that's the other thing too. We have to take care of ourselves, and women, moms, we kind of put ourselves in the back burner, doctor's appointments, all that, right? Our kids, they make sure they go to everything, but we don't take care of ourselves. And so I think that's the whole big message I think of us talking today is definitely putting yourself first. I always, my order personally is God, myself, then my husband, then my children. And I know moms are like, your children are last. And I'm like, yeah, that's how it's supposed to flow. Like I matter and I love them so much, but like you can't pour from an empty cup. And so
Mhm.
you have to take care of yourself. Or, my favorite example is on the airplane. You put the oxygen mask on yourself and then you put it on your kids. But how many of us put it straight on the kid?
Yeah, and then you're gasping for
You're
air
like,
and you're panicking and you're, yes,
I know
100%.
it's like the most cliche thing, but women could like picture that. They're like, oh, shoot, I do
Yeah.
put my kids first. And like, so that's the number one thing when I meet people. People are always like, you make me feel bad about myself. And I said, what do you mean? And they're like, well, because I don't put myself first. I'm like, don't make it feel bad about yourself. Make it that it triggered something in you to be like a wake up call, right? Of
Yeah.
like, why am I last? Because I
Yeah.
matter. If
Exactly.
Angela can go do backflips at 8 o'clock at night, I can go do backflips,
Mm.
like, because people watch my videos watching Netflix, and I'm just like, what? They love them, but I'm like, you can come do it with me. Like, you
Yeah.
don't need to just watch, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. I know you can almost get
So,
consumed in somebody else's life watching other people do it and then never flip it back on yourself. Be like, why not me? Why aren't I doing it?
exactly. Why not me? And yeah, and then they give me the laundry list of why they can't do it. And I'm like, do you really want me to tell you everything that's wrong with me?
You're putting in the bucket of I can't.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I have a million reasons why I shouldn't be able to do what I'm doing today,
Yeah.
and I'm doing them. So,
That's it. Yes. It's so inspiring. Your story is absolutely
yeah,
incredible. And I thought it was amazing when I talked to you 2 years ago, and it just
yeah.
like keeps building. So it's absolutely so inspiring. And I know anyone who listens to this is going to really let it seep in because you're a living testament to what is possible. And I would love for people to connect with you. Where can they find you?
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to connect to me, I'm on Instagram, and it's under COLO Fitness Chick. So Colorado Fitness Chick. And then I'm also on Facebook, Angela Fuller. And then I am on TikTok.
Oh, yes.
Happy Dance Ninja. When I was on the show, they're like, you need to start a TikTok. So I'm a cool mom on TikTok. No, I'm kidding.
I love that.
So yeah, those are kind of the main areas that I'm at. But yeah, I would love for you to follow me, connect with me if you need anything. I have a link tree that shows you all the links. If you want me to speak at something or anything you need help with, please message me. I love chatting with people. I always return DMs. So yeah.
I love that. I'm going to put everything in the show notes, so definitely connect with Angela. And again, I can't thank you enough for sharing your story and just being so inspiring and living everything that you speak about every day. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And again, if you found this episode to be inspiring, you know there's somebody else who needs to hear this too. So share this episode so that we can really spread this message and more people can live their most authentic and fulfilling life. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending this time with me today. If something in this episode stirred your truth, reminded you of your worth, or helped you see your patterns with more compassion, you're already rewiring your life. Remember, you don't have to earn your place, overgive to be valued, or shrink to keep the peace. You get to honor your voice, you get to protect your energy, you get to live aligned with who you really are. If you're ready to go deeper, explore more tools, or join a community of women walking this same path, head over to drkellykessler.com. Everything you need to continue this journey is waiting for you. Until next time, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and keep choosing the version of you who feels like home.